So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom is for doing. Which one of you gonna do it first?
He performed at the Crypto Ball as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all these things.
Snoop Dogg just got hit with a real warning. Not from cops, not from another rapper, but from Katt Williams himself. Yeah, that Katt Williams, the one who never sugarcoats a thing. This time, he's calling out Snoop for what he says is a full-on switch-up.
Your career down the road. People might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's let that.
Claiming Snoop's gone political. In Katt's words, the dog turned into a political dog. And when Katt throws a warning, it's not for laughs. He doesn't chase clout. He calls truth when he sees it. According to Katt, Snoop's out here playing a risky game, one where loyalty, power, and truth just don't mix. Things are heating up fast. Katt's been on a rampage lately, lighting up the industry and dragging Hollywood hypocrisy into the spotlight. From Steve Harvey to Cedric to D.L. Hewley, nobody's been safe. But when he dropped this name, the room froze. Snoop Dogg. Why? Because Snoop ain't no regular celebrity. He's an icon.
I just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
Was inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America. Snoop Dogg performed at the Crypto Ball. Now, Snoop Dogg, he got the backlash because people are like, wait, this isn't the same Snoop from 2016 who had so much to say about the artist performing.
The man went from gangster rap to global fame, from death row to daytime TV, from the hood straight to the White House. He's a survivor, no doubt. But Katt's message cut deep. He said Snoop ain't the same Snoop no more. Somewhere along the way, he stopped repping the people and started repping the powerful.
Yeah. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black.
Katt didn't hold back. He said Snoop turned into what he calls a political dog. A man who barks loud, but only when the system gives him permission. And if you've been watching Snoop these past few years, you can see exactly where Katt's coming from. This ain't the same Snoop from Murder Was the Case. This ain't the Snoop who rode with Pac and went to war with Death Row. This ain't the Snoop who gave us Doggy Dog World. This is a whole different Snoop. The one chilling with Martha Stewart, smiling in insurance ads, promoting pet food, and taking selfies with CEOs and politicians.
Of course, Snoop has responded to the backlash he received for performing for a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing it. It is, I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community because they disagree with something you did?
No, on some real though, it's about time somebody said some gangster shit up in here. Hey yo, Katt Williams, when did they start selling pimp clothes at Baby Gap? That's my nigga over there drinking that Hennessy out of that little sippy cup.
To Katt, that ain't growth. That's betrayal. That's turning your back on the very soil that made you who you are. Now don't get it twisted. Katt's not out here hating on Snoop's legacy. He said it himself. Snoop is a legend who broke barriers, made gangster rap mainstream, and turned pain into power.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all these things.
Just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid mother.
He performed at the Crypto Ball as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J.
But in Katt's eyes, something changed. Snoop forgot why he was loved. He lost that raw authenticity, that fearless voice of the streets. The man who used to challenge the system now moves right alongside it.
Ellie are going to be at this thing. And I think it really does beg the question whether the culture is starting to thaw to Donald Trump. I mean,
And when Katt says political dog, he's not talking about voting or parties. He's talking about spiritual politics, selling your soul for comfort, fame, and power. In Katt's mind, Snoop's gotten way too cozy with the very crowd he once stood against. In a world where real truth tellers keep getting silenced, Katt Williams ain't staying quiet, not this time. So where did all this even start? Let's rewind the tape. Back in the early 2000s, Snoop Dogg was untouchable. He survived the death row chaos, built his own empire, and earned that OG crown across the whole rap game. Everyone respected him, from Jay-Z to Ice Cube. He was the big uncle of hip-hop, the one everybody listened to. But somewhere down the line, things started shifting. Snoop began popping up at political events, smiling next to powerful people, defending certain celebs while staying real quiet about others. He started backing brands, politicians, and causes that had fans scratching their heads. To Katt Williams, that was the first major red flag. Katt's always said, when they can't control you, they cancel you. And when they can't cancel you, they recruit you. And in his eyes, that's exactly what happened. Snoop got recruited. The tension hit harder when Katt noticed Snoop's silence during key moments in hip-hop. When artists were getting blackballed, Snoop stayed neutral. When folks were exposing the industry, Snoop turned peacemaker. And when talk of exploitation came up, total silence. According to Katt, that silence spoke louder than words, and it wasn't the Snoop he once looked up to. But when it came time to celebrate Hollywood, guess who was front and center? Snoop Dogg. To Katt, that didn't look like pride, it looked like protection. A man guarding his position, not his people. So when Katt said, I'm sending Snoop his last warning, stop being a political dog, it wasn't some slick diss, it was a challenge. A message from a man who once admired Snoop deeply. See, in Katt's world, there's two kinds of dogs. The street dog, loyal, hungry, raw, and fearless. And the political dog, trained, obedient, polished, always ready to please the system. Katt said Snoop used to be that first kind, unpredictable and real, but now he's moving like the second, trained to protect the game instead of the streets. And honestly, it's hard to argue. Snoop's face is everywhere, on TV more than in the booth, hosting cooking shows instead of leading community ones, selling brands instead of messages. Now, there's nothing wrong with success or elevation, but Katt's point cuts deeper. He's asking, did Snoop grow as a man or just as a brand? Because here's the truth. Katt Williams never cared about Hollywood's fame. He's fought against that machine his whole career. He's been arrested, blackballed, banned, and mocked. Yet he never folded, never changed his tone. That's why people still trust him, because he doesn't owe Hollywood a single thing. So when a man like Katt calls out Snoop, everybody listens. Cause Katt's never been afraid to lose anything for the truth. Katt's not scared of losing money, fame, or friends. He's only scared of what happens when people stop telling the truth. And this right here, it runs deep. There's history between Snoop and Katt. They both came up from the West Coast, different lanes, but the same grind. One ruling rap, the other killing comedy. Both had the streets behind them, both respected for keeping it real. Snoop always showed Katt love back in the day. They shared stages, radio shows, and interviews through the 2000s. But somewhere along the line, that energy switched up. Katt started noticing how Snoop was defending the same Hollywood folks he was calling out. When Katt was dropping names like Steve Harvey, D.L. Hewley, and Cedric the Entertainer, Snoop said nothing. Even worse, he'd be seen taking photos with them, smiling like it's all peace. That's when Katt drew the line. He said, "You can't be for the people and still shake hands with the puppeteers," and everybody knew who that message was aimed at. Straight at Snoop. But let's keep it real. This ain't the first time Snoop's been accused of flipping sides. Back in the Death Row days, he was ride or die for the streets. Then after Pac's death, he cut ties with Suge Knight and built new alliances. Later, he joined No Limit, went corporate, then Hollywood. Snoop's reinvented himself more times than any rapper alive, and that's exactly why he's still standing. But that same ability to switch lanes is why some folks stop trusting him. Katt's not clowning Snoop's success. He's questioning his soul. He's saying, "You used to lead us. Now you follow them." Right now, Snoop hasn't fired back at Katt yet, but the internet sure has, and the crowd is split clean down the middle. Half the people are saying Katt's just hating, jealous, bitter, and mad at anyone who's figured out how to move mainstream. They say Snoop's just doing what a real businessman does, evolving, building empires, not beefs. But the other half, they're riding with Katt all the way. They say he's the only one brave enough to say what everyone's been whispering, that Snoop's been playing both sides for years, talking about realness, but living corporate, preaching loyalty, but moving with whoever cuts the biggest check. And honestly, both sides might have a point, because this whole thing isn't just about Katt versus Snoop. It's about what happens when fame meets authenticity. Snoop represents survival. The man who made it out the mud and stayed relevant for decades. Katt represents rebellion, the man who won't bow to the machine even when it costs him everything. It's two philosophies crashing head first, play the game or expose it. And right now, Katt's saying Snoop's too deep in the system to ever walk out clean. But here's where it gets real. What exactly is Katt warning him about? When he says, "last warning," it sounds heavy, like something's coming. Some fans believe he's warning Snoop about karma, that when you trade purpose for politics, the payback hits hard. Others think it's about playing both sides, because sooner or later, both sides will turn on you, and a few just think Katt's plain tired of watching legends lose themselves chasing power and comfort. Katt's frustration runs deep. He's tired of watching the same legends he once respected turn into puppets for power. He said it plain and clear, the moment you stop talking for the people stop talking for you. That's the message he's sending straight to Snoop. No matter how rich, famous, or iconic you get, if the streets don't feel you anymore, you already lost. And maybe that's why this warning hits so personal. Because Katt ain't just talking to Snoop, he's talking to every entertainer who forgot their roots. He's saying, don't let them turn you into something fake, because once you lose your voice, they don't need you anymore. That's the real message buried under all the smoke and headlines. Snoop's career shows just how complex fame can be. The man's worn every title in the book: gangster, icon, businessman, peacemaker, comedian, actor, mogul. He's earned every bit of his legacy. But with each new move, that question keeps echoing louder. Has he gotten too comfortable, too polished, too political? Because the same Snoop Dogg who once shouted, "Forget the system," is now sitting at the table with the very system he rebelled against. And that's something Katt just can't respect. Still, you can't deny Snoop's impact. He helped shape West Coast hip-hop from the ground up. He mentored young artists, built businesses, and gave back to the community. He's one of the few who aged with grace. No scandals, no breakdowns, no self-destruction. But maybe that's the twist. In a culture built on chaos, calm looks suspicious. And Katt Williams, he is chaos personified. Unpredictable, raw, and never afraid to speak the truth loud. So when Katt looks at Snoop's calm, he doesn't see peace, he sees compliance. And make no mistake, this might not be the end of it. Katt's never been the type to whisper warnings. When he says last warning, he means it loud and clear. If Snoop even hints at a response, you can bet Katt's coming back 10 times harder. Because this ain't just another celebrity spat, it's a collision between truth and tolerance, the rebel and the ruler. Two icons, two legacies, two totally different roads leading to the same spotlight. That's what makes this clash so wild. Katt represents the voice of the people, raw, fearless, and unfiltered. Snoop represents the dream, the man who escaped the struggle and built an empire from nothing. Both started real, both changed the game, but one refuses to play it. And in Katt's eyes, that's the line that separates them. So what happens next? Maybe nothing, or maybe everything. Because in this industry, silence speaks volumes, and if Snoop stays quiet after all this, it won't mean peace. It'll mean the power still runs deep behind the scenes. So what do you think? Did Katt just expose Snoop for selling out? Or is he just tired of fighting a battle nobody ever wins? One thing's for sure, when Katt Williams says, "This is your last warning," you better believe he means it. Make sure to subscribe to Dripzine, drop a comment, hit that like button, and share this video. We got more real stories coming your way.